Shalom, shalom, Israel. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I'm going to say it again, but first, I got to do things in the background real quick. Just bear with me real quick. I'll be right back. Shalom, shalom. Before we even get into anything, I'm going to give our praise to the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakodash. Yahweh being the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai to the world, and He calls Jesus to Christ. And of course, I'm going to give double honors where honor is due, regardless if you accept it or not. To the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who've been ruling well through the Spirit, we've been bringing forth 100% of Most High doctrine to the best of their ability. And a mighty shalom to the other brothers underneath them, that's ruling well, constantly on them highways and byways and doing sit downs. And for the whole four legs scattered, four corners of the earth and four corners of the United States, that's in congregations and out congregations, whoever you may be, Lord willing, the Most High have you enduring this thing and then be increased with the understanding and knowledge. Lord willing, He continue to have the wives and the single sisters to play their role, being loving and silent wives and trying to be virtuous to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that is not in the faith. So I'm just hop right into it. The title of this video, if you already see it on Facebook or YouTube, the title is called "Righteousness is More Important Than Riches. Nothing can compare." This is all inspired by Elder, in Great Millstone, a video I was watching. The title of this video, you can't really see me. Totally, totally agree. Multiple wives, having many different women is not over righteousness. Spiritual powers, trying to be a superhero is not over righteousness, and the Leviathan is not over righteousness. I agree. And of course, I have to do better, right? Because I could be teaching and I might not even make it. You know what I'm saying? As long as the Lord's will is done, who cares about what I want or my emotions and feelings, right? It's all about what the Lord wants us to do and what He don't want us to do. So, Lord willing, what we bring out is edifying. Let me see. I'm I'm trying to get the blue letter on the other screen. It's taking a minute. So Lord willing, y'all can see the screen. If I can already see it in the back channel, y'all can. And for anybody that's doing new moon, happy new moon. Happy new moon. So to start off, I'm gonna start off with Romans chapter 4, verse 3. And the righteousness we going into is truthfulness, justification, salvation, righteous acts. In a broad sense, state of him who is at Salaki, let me say it again. State of him who is as he ought to be. Righteousness, the condition acceptable to Yahweh concerning the way in which man may obtain a state approved of Yahweh. Righteousness, again, is the goodness and virtue and uprightness, integrity of a man and a woman of Israel. So lucky something just happened in the back channel. I'm about to fix it real quick. See if it'll let me fix it. If not, oh, we fine. Okay. So Romans chapter 4, verse 3, it says, for what saith the scripture? Abraham believed God, and it was counted unto him for righteousness. In the NLT, the faith of Abraham, for the scriptures tell us Abraham believed God, and God counted him as righteous because of his faith, right? And that's another act that comes with righteousness, faith, believing Yahweh Shemal Shai is who he say he is, right? And not on wavering away from that faith, which a lot of us actually do, right? Going to the next precept, 1 John chapter 2, verse 28 to 29. So 1 John chapter 2, verse 28 to 29, it says, and now, little children, abide in him, which is St. John chapter 15, verse 1 to actually 5. Kind of brought this out earlier. You see how amazing things work through the spirit. I was talking about this in my other life earlier, and something drawn me to it, and I'm watching a little of the video, and it just brought me to speak about righteousness, because this is something that I need to work on too, and I know a lot of people need to. That when he shall appear, we may be confident. We may have confidence and not be ashamed before him at his coming. If ye know that he is righteous, ye know that everyone that doeth righteousness is born of him. So everybody that do righteousness is born of him, let alone everybody that walks and have faith is born of him. And when he is talking about, if ye know that he is righteous, that is talking about Hamashiach Yahushai, right? Another precept we're going to slide to is Romans chapter 5, right? To even make it to a whole nother new moon, a whole nother month, another chance to get your spirit right with the Lord, and to break down the old man, what is the sinful flesh nature, right? And you got to work very hard on it. Romans chapter 5, verse 1 to 5. Therefore, being justified, being right by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach Yahushua. So we have peace through our Lord HaMashiach Yahushua, right? But we are justified by faith, right? Justified is being right. We're righteous by faith, by whom also we have access by faith into his grace, wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of God. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, right? And that's when we run into problems and trials, right? We glory in them tribulations and those trials, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. So the tribulation, the trial, the problems, it works patient in us, let alone when your faith is being tested, let alone when people is doing conniving other little things in front or behind you, men, women, men, children, these is things to build you up, let alone in the actual world, right? Let alone, I don't really want to be around nobody that don't want to deal with the problems that, that you put in front of us. Just hearing on Clubhouse is a guy talking about Egypt mythology and whatever. He said, man, I'm tired of believing in the God that's in this book, man. We just gonna have to take a stand. That never did anything for us, right? And a lot of us is not happy for the things that is put on our plate. Like it says in the NLT, for we can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance. This whole truth is about endurance. How long you gonna last? It's not about how long another brother lasts. It's about how long you last, right? You have to seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling, right? Verse 4, in patience, experience hope, right? That hope is going to come with confidence, right? Endurance develops strength of character as a man and as a woman. If you want to be a prophet, this endurance is going to develop strength of your character, let alone when people don't want to listen, let alone if people scoffing, right? Turn out the cheek, man, I'm getting sick and tired of this man teaching here and there, let alone even if in your household, right, put an order from the children on up, right? It says, for we know that they help us develop endurance, Salaki. And character strengthens our confidence, Salaki. And character strengthens our confident hope of salvation, right? And salvation is the number one key that should be on our minds. Verse 5, and hope maketh not ashamed, right? That hope do not make ashamed, right? It says, and this hope will not lead to disappointment. And a lot of us are disappointed, right? We're like I just said, this brother was disappointed. The Lord taking too damn long. It says, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us, right? Look at that, verse 6. For when we were yet without strength, in due time, Hamashiach died for the ungodly, for the ones that was moving unrighteous, let alone us who couldn't uphold the law to its whole integrity, right? When we were utterly helpless, Hamashiach came at just the right time and died for us sinners, right? For you sinners that's now coming back into the ways of the Lord, of course, because Christ dying, we're by Yahushua dying, Salaki Yahushua for, disrespecting you saying that name. He died for us, man. Let alone we in this day, we're still ignorant to the ways of the Lord. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 15. He that walketh righteously, he that walketh justly and speaketh uprightly. You have to walk and speak righteously, right? Speak just, right? It says those who are honest and fair. So you have to be honest and you have to be fair with your brothers and sisters, let alone when you're trying to build them up and redirect them. He that despiseth the gang of oppressions, that shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil, right? The major 2 points, those who are honest and fair, who refuse to profit from fraud, who stay far away from bribes, who refuse to listen to those who plot murder, who shut their eyes to all enticement to do wrong, right? We're supposed to be in this ministry working on ourselves, bettering ourselves as men and women, right? In the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shai. Psalms 106, verse 3. Blessed are they that keep judgment, and he that doeth righteousness at all times. There is joy for those who deal justly with others, right? We have to even keep righteous judgment, right? Let alone you can't have respect of persons, right? Psalms 58, verse 1. You have to cry aloud and spare not. And you have to tell your brothers and your sisters their transgression, their iniquities that they have done against Yahweh Shema Shai. And always do what is right. It didn't say half the time, it says always. If you brothers trying to talk about multiple wives, even myself, or even talking about a wife, even talking about the abundance of how many kids and where I'm going to fly and what I'm going to conquer. Yes, it's good to have that desire, but make sure you are working on yourselves for righteousness' sake, because the Lord is searching our hearts, right? And that goes to a precept I bring out damn near every day, Mark 3:35. Only somebody that is seeking to be more righteous, let alone what it says in Matthew chapter 5, verse 6. He that hunger and thirst for righteousness shall be filled. This is Mark 3:35. For whosoever shall do the will of God, which a man that is pursuing to be righteous, trying to move in righteousness, will do the will of God. The same is my brother and my sister and my mother, right? Women and men shall always pursue righteousness, the righteous acts. What is the righteous acts? Being truthful to one another, justification, right? Building, having that faith in Yahweh Shema Shai until the end, right? Salvation. That's the righteous mind has salvation on their mind. The righteous acts, the state of him who is at as he ought to be, moving in the will of the Lord. The condition acceptable to Yahweh, and concerning the way in which men may attain a state approved of Yahweh, goodness, virtue, and uprightness and integrity, which every time you should be thinking about having integrity in this truth, walking in virtue, right? Walking in uprightness, walking in goodness, walking in the way that the Lord wants you to move as men and women. We can say law all day and faith, but is you applying it? Is you walking in it? Is you trying to do better? Is you trying to increase? Are you trying to build yourself on a solid foundation? Luke, the 6th chapter, going straight to 47. It says, whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I show you to whom he is like. So if you do the will of the Lord and you do what Yahweh Shema Shai tells you to do, he is like a man which built a house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock, which is the apostles and the prophets. Just like your house might have a basement. If your house don't have a basement, the bottom structure of your house is the solid foundation, right? And through the spirit, it should be Yahweh Shai. And when the flood arose, the stream beat violently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built an house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat violently, and immediately it fell. And the ruin of that house was great. And that always is going to lead me to, I'm going to just read it in the back. I ain't going to put it on the screen. It's Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, the 27th chapter, verse 3. And it reads, Unless a man hold himself diligently, which is daily in the fear of Yahweh Shemashai, his house shall soon be overthrown. Right? And that even goes for, even say, if you have a son, you should be teaching your son to have fear in Yahweh Shemashai daily. Hey, a lot of us would say, kids is going to be kids. Our sons is going to play. Our daughters is going to play. But you have to let them know, besides playing, watching TV, doing whatever you want to do, the Lord has to be first. And to show a kid the Lord has to be first is to show them how to just listen to the word being brought out. Because it's going to be a day, you never know, the Lord might separate you from your mother or your father. And you got to think, if your kids is not really growing in faith or knowing the good and bad you went through, knowing the power of the Lord, when that time come, your kids will most likely probably fall away, right? So Lord willing, I get to read these scriptures in the KJV and NLT. Lord willing, it can smack us in the right state of mind. First Peter 5, verse 8 to 10, it says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Being vigilant, hey, that reminds you of freaking Batman, right? You have to be alert of your surroundings, right? Whom resist, stand fast in the faith. You got to stay firm, like Philippians 2:12. You have to be firm and grounded in his faith, knowing that the same affliction are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. But the God of all grace, who have called us unto his eternal glory by Hamashiach Yahushai, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. Right? So you're going to suffer a while in this so-called captivity, or in the hands of your enemies. In this situation, we're going to suffer patiently. In the NLT, stay alert. It's just an alarm through the spirit. You want to stay alert. Watch out for your great enemy, the devil. His prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Stand firm against him, right? You have to stand firm against the damn devil on the left-hand side and be strong in your faith. That's why your faith cannot be withered away unless you keep tossing and turning, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Right? Gotta stay solid, King. I see you. Shalom, King. Right? Looking for someone to devour, stay firm against him and be strong in your faith. Remember that your Christian brothers and sisters all over the world are going through the same kind of suffering you are. And I know a lot of people that's in the church might be like, oh, these is Christians. But you have to know, if we was to look at Acts the 13th chapter, when it's talking about Christian, the word Christian even means black, right? It means black. And it was actually going into Simeon, right? The Israelites are Christians, real followers of Hamashiach Yahushua, who the world and he calls Jesus the Christ. All over the world are going through the same kind of suffering. In this kindness, God called you to share in his eternal glory by means of Hamashiach Yahushua. So after you are suffered a little while, he will restore and support and strengthen you, and he will place you in a firm foundation. Every man shall want, and every woman shall want to be in a firm foundation. I just want to get that Acts 13 because I know somebody might be hot in their underwears, thinking, oh no, brother, you're going off. So this is Acts the 13th chapter, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was in Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that were called Niger, but it's really nigger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaen, which have been brought up with Herod, Tartarus, and Saul. Right? So we're going to find out that word nigger, right? And we're going to see what that goes into. Because we were just talking about Christian. So let's find out. what Christian is. I don't know if y'all can hear what's that going on. So like y'all gotta see something. We was at Acts the 13th chapter. Let's see if it played now.
Strong's G 3526. Niger.
So in Latin is Neegger. How we say nigger now, we spell it Nigger. And it's a Latin word, root word, etymology of Latin region. Niger equals black, surname of the prophet Simeon, right? And when you look at the Strong's definition, nigger of Latin region means black, nigger, and a Christian. So now you know when brothers really calling themselves Christian, you must be calling yourself nigger, or black. A real Christian is a black man. A real Christian is a Israelite. Plain as the table as 2 times 2. Right? Let's go to 1 Peter 3. Verse 14. And it says, but if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. Because we were showing you in the other verse that I showed that Christians suffer too. And it was talking about black men, Israelite men, real Christians, nigger, ones that is called a byword like spits and all our other Latinos and natives, right? They're called and they're troubled with names. So I'm gonna read it again. But if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. So if you not suffering for righteousness' sake, people ignoring you, people don't give a damn what the heck you saying, right? They scoffing, you constantly have a conversation with your father, your mother, your auntie, your uncle, and people in this truth and people out the truth, let alone people calling the Lord a whole nother name. In the NLT, it says, but even if you suffer for doing what is right, God will reward you for it. Do not worry or be afraid of their threats. You should never be afraid of what this world or anybody says about you or to you, right? So I'm going to go to the next precept, Romans chapter 10, verse 4. And it reads, for Mashiach is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth, right? Yahushua is the end of that law. I'm going to say it again. Mashiach is the end of the law for righteousness. What is that righteousness going to? Faith, right? To everyone that believeth. That's that faith right there. It says, for Mashiach has already accomplished the purpose for which the law was given. As a result, all who believe in him are made right with God, right? Let alone if you're doing the law and you're trying to apply it into your life, which is a form of faith, right? But a lot of us through our old covenant could not fulfill it. We kept slipping, kept falling, kept going back to our vomit. So the Lord sent our mediator, which is a Mashiach Yahushai, to die on our behalf because of our sins, right? When you look at verse 5, for Moses describeth the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them, which we try to live by the best of our ability. And NLT from Moses writes that the law's way of making a person right with God requires obedience to all of his commands. So we had to yield. We had to yield to what the Lord wants us to do. And a lot of us can't do it. So right now, a lot of us have to be obedient and yield to faith, which I'll even go to this. Hebrews 11:6. It says, but without faith it's impossible to please him. You can keep the law too, but without faith it's impossible to please Yahweh Shem Yahushai. When it comes to prophecies, that is faith on those things that they're going to come, right? Let alone the Lord tell you to forgive your brother 70 times 7. You could be angry as hell. But when you really believe in the Lord, no matter how angry, how sad you is, you're going to forgive your brother 70 times 7, even though it's a commandment, right? It says, for he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him, a form of righteousness, right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. You know, a lot of us go to this. And of course, a lot of Christians take away that you do not have to do the law, right? But we'll settle the record straight. From verse 17 to 20, it says, think not that I come to destroy the law, which is the 613 laws, right? Or the prophets, going into the how they were moving and the prophecies they spoke. So he's not going to go against the prophecies that the Lord spoke through the prophets. And I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill the law and to fulfill what the prophets were saying. Don't misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses. See, now some people will look and think he's just talking about the law he said. No, even the law Moses had and the law Hamashiach had is the law of the Most High. The law of Moses, or the writings of the prophets, who I came to accomplish their purpose. And the prophets wrote a whole plethora of things that we're supposed to hold to. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not even the smallest detail of God's law will disappear until its purpose is achieved. So none of the law is going to disappear. Poof, a magic trick, right? Yahushua really takes over the sacrificial law, right? Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments and shall teach men to do so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So I am here telling you, keep the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. Rehearse the righteous acts. Judges chapter 5, verse 11. That's not hard. Guess what? It's hard. It's really hard, especially if you don't give a damn about the Lord. It's hard to just say, man, fuck the Lord. I had to say it like that because you niggas really be saying that. F the Lord, I'm going to do what I want to do. That's hard. Now, for me being ignorant and I did not know these things, when I step away from those things and when I look back, that's hard for me to go back and say the Lord taking too long. You know, I don't have 1,000 people. Look, it's only 4, let alone other people that's going to watch this video later. And I'm going to be like, damn, ain't nobody watching me. You know, the word is not going to go unvoid, right? This is for the brothers and sisters that want to endure in the ministry of the Lord. It says, but anyone who obeys, wait, let me say it again. So if you ignore the least commandments and teach others to do the same, you will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But anyone who obeys God's laws and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. This is why I'm trying to implant in our family to do the things in the scriptures so you can be called great in the kingdom. You know, but of course we have stubborn people in our family or outside our family. It says, for I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall not in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. So our righteousness, let alone our faith, shall oversee the Pharisees and scribes, right? It says, but I warn you, unless your righteousness is better than the righteousness of the teachers of religious laws and the Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. So you want to work hard, because the Lord even saying in Revelations, even the same people is going to see Hamashiach Yahushai, even the same ones that pierced him. So you got to work on yourself, man. And every day I'll be telling myself, hey, I might be one of those brothers that might not even make it. Right? The Lord probably just got me in here just to teach the word, plant the seed, and y'all make it, and I don't. Hey, the Lord is just. You know what? I'm gonna go to Romans the 9th chapter. I'm not putting on the screen. I'm reading it in my other handy dandy Bible app. Right? Romans chapter 9, verse 14 and 15. It says, "What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion." Yes, all Israel will be saved, but if you get technical, the Lord is going to have mercy only on the 1/3 and 144,000. If you don't make that cut, sorry for you. Let me see one more. Exodus 33 and 19. Which says, "And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will reclaim the name of Yahweh before thee, and I will be gracious to whom I be gracious. I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will show mercy on whom I will show mercy." Let alone when you think about when the Lord told Moses to tell Israel to kill the lamb and put blood on the doorpost of a household, and the Egyptians' firstborn got killed. Guess what? The Lord is going to have mercy on whom he's going to have mercy. If you can't follow suit, we might as well all say goodbye. Right? This is 2 Timothy 2 and 22. "Flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace." Charity is the highest form of love. And a lot of us got to do. Sometimes you might make something and give somebody an extra one for free. You might have a $5 and somebody, hey, look, I want to give food, and you give them that dollar. That's an alms, but it's charity. Some way, somehow, you should look. Even guess what? I'm not gonna lie. It might be an Edomite that's in good condition, and they might need $1. Man, look. Hey, you can hate them in the spirit, hate everything that they did to you, but me and you can't harm them. I bet you the Lord ain't turning away because you gave $2 to a damn Edomite. I despise them. But I ain't gonna lie, it was sometimes I seen a genuine Edomite woman that might be short on a few change or need something. Guess what? I give it to him. You know what I'm saying? But even Jake, let's just say the charity is for Jake, right? Faith, charity, and peace with them that call on Yahweh out of a pure heart. You have to have a pure heart to call on Yahweh. If you keep yourself pure, like purer than cocaine, you will be a special utensil for honorable use, right? Just like when the Lord, he is the potter and we're the clay. And then it's sometimes he might make something out of clay that is a special utensil, and he might have some that is a freaking terrible utensil, and he might trash that utensil and keep the special utensil. And that, guess what? That reminds me of Deuteronomy 14:2. We are a peculiar people, which is special. We are that special utensil for honorable use. Only the hopeful elect is. Your life will be clean, and you will be ready for the master to use you for every good work. And every person should want to be used for every good work. I read verse 21. I'm supposed to read 22. It says, "Run from anything that stimulates youthful lust. Run away from it. Be like Forrest Gump. Instead, pursue righteous living, faithfulness, love, and peace. Enjoy the companionship of those who call on Yahweh Shema Shai with a pure heart." So I'm going to enjoy the brothers that I have. And of course, the sisters should enjoy who they have around him. I see my brother Jarek ask the precept. I love when somebody asks something or anything. The brother said, "Is it lawful to sew fringes on a skirt. It's my Shabbat and I don't have fringes. Shirt. Well, it's well to do good on the Shabbat. As long as you're not selling them and getting a payment and you're going to put it on, I would say it's good to do well on the Sabbath. And if I can, I will try to get that precept for you, King. Thank you. Beautiful question, man. See, hey, that's a beautiful question. This is Matthew 12:12. It says, how much? Let me see. So you see at the top, it says Sabbath questions, just like what you're doing. Today is new moon for me, which is a super Sabbath because yesterday was my Sabbath. And we going into the Lord of the Sabbath, which is Hamashiach Yahushai, because he's talking to the Pharisees, right? So I'm going to start at verse 9 just to give you more context, bro. So I'm going to read it, right? So verse 9, it says, when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue, and behold, there was a man which had hands withered. And they asked him, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days, that they might accuse him? And technically, when you think about Yahweh Shema Shai healing, he's not getting paid for it. He's just healing a man. And it says, verse 11, and he said unto them, what man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep? And if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out? How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days. And guess what? For me, today is new moon. So, if you're, that's for your girl. Your girl is under you, right? And I believe my brother Sam, he would have a precept, or he would even add on to that too, right? I can't really get it because it's all in. Is it lawful? I can't even. They won't even. I wish I could have got it all together, but it won't. Right. So the word for well.
Strong's G 2573. Kalos.
So beautifully, finely, excellently, well, rightly, so that there shall be no room for blame. You see that? That's even better. So you don't want no room for blame, because a lot of us say, oh, you ain't got your fringes on. It's always good to be the light, especially if you feel you slipping, or when you first get into truth. I'm never going look. Scriptures do not say that you can't wear fringes all day, every day, even though the scriptures do say put fringes on a garment, right? Man, put them dang fringes on. My brother brought out Mark chapter 2. Lord willing, you can keep these precepts in your pocket, King. Luke chapter 2, verse 27 to 28. It says, and he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Therefore, the Son of Man is the Lord also of the Sabbath. The Sabbath was made for man, not the Sabbath for man. Right? The Sabbath was made for you. Man was made, and not man for the Sabbath. Right? And the Sabbath is the seventh day of each week, which was a scarce festival on which the Israelites were required to abstain from all work. Let alone when you're really working, you're getting $1 from it. Getting $1 from this work. The institution of the Sabbath, the law for keeping holy every seventh day of the week, a single Sabbath day, 7 days a week, right? But like my brother Sam just said, even which what we talking about right now and even more, Yahweh Shai died for us. Yahweh Shai is our grace and our mercy to the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But you got some brothers and sisters that might be going out clubbing on the damn Shabbat, acting a damn fool. Or you might have brothers smoking weed on the damn Shabbat. You might actually have people out here really selling on the Shabbat, right? Going against the ways of the Lord. Oh, I got you, Sam. He said, rehearse the righteous acts. You already know where we're going to go. Judges 5 and 11, right? Which always seems beautiful to bring out. Judges chapter 5, verse 11, Lord willing. Okay. Judges 5 and 11, it says, Salaki, y'all. I don't know why I did that. Judges 5 and 11. Whoa. That thing was looking a little too different. Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh. Let alone when you're acting, you rehearse the act before you actually, while they'll say action, you rehearse your part or your lines. Even the righteous acts toward the inhabitation of the villages in Israel. First and foremost, these are two different righteous acts. Because look, we're already talking about righteousness, good deeds, charity, right peace, right forgiving your brother 70 times 7, right? Let alone the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel, which were keeping 613 laws to the best of your ability, right? Work hard to please Yahweh, and it's not about working hard to please man, right? Let's get this Romans chapter 8. And I believe we go into 8, 4 to 6. Romans chapter 8, verse 4 to 6. It says that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us. He did this so that the just requirement of the law would be fully satisfied for us. I'm going to read it again, KJV. For that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. That's that Galatians chapter 5, right? It says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And that goes in even to your question that you're trying to be, brother. You're trying to still move in the spirit, right? What was I thinking? Oh, Ephesians chapter 4, right? For you to even ask, man, I want fringes. You know, some brothers, somebody asked me one day, hey, is it okay if I hit a joint? You asking me, even though that question wasn't on the Sabbath, somebody just asking, can they smoke a joint and still serve the Lord? You actually asked something that deals with what we're supposed to be wearing, right? This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. It says that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is throw off your old sinful nature, which is the human nature, and your former way of life. Right? You really got to throw your former way of life. Even when me and brothers and Sam's, he's like, man, after camp, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. Brothers don't want to be reminded of their former life, which is corrupt according to deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Look, we're doing a new moon. That means a new month. Since this is a new month, is it a new you? Are you thinking new? Instead, let the spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Right? Sometimes I might get upset real quick, but I'm not in the type that I'm about to say something. Sometimes I just be quiet and just get my mind right, boom, and I'm in it. Or sometimes I just let it out because sometimes it might linger on me too much and I might have an attitude. I'm gonna read your precept too, Sam. And it says, in that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. Put on your new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy. And I'm going to click, and we're going to get this word for righteousness. What in the creation of Louis Vuitton is going on here? It turned off my sound. So there we go.
Strong's G 1343. Dikayasune. Dikayasune.
It said Kayasune, right? And the biblical, the outline biblical usage is in a broad sense, which I brought out earlier, state of him who is as he ought to be, righteousness, the condition acceptable to God, the doctrine concerning the way in which man may attain a state approved of God, right? Integrity, virtue, purity of light, rightness, correctness of thinking, feeling, and acting. It's a verse that my brother Sam always bring out, which I have to bring out, his mark, right? But it's a verse I have to bring out that, you know, we always bring out every time, which is, I believe, 2 Timothy. I could be wrong. Yes, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15 in the G&T, right? It says, do your best to win the approval in God's sight as a worker who is not ashamed of his work, one who correctly teaches the message of God's truth. So you might have a friend or a sister and you trying to tell them, hey, yo, sis, or hey, yo, bro, this is the side you're supposed to be on, because a lot of us think we're living a good life just because we're a mother or a father, but you ain't teaching your son or your daughter where they come from. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. Even myself, I had my daughter. I failed my daughter because I let her do Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all these holidays, and I didn't give them no meaning. Even if you give them the meaning on it, and you say we can't do it, and you still not serving the Lord, it's new moon. It should be every person that live around me that is a Jake should be doing new moon. Every person around me should have been doing the Sabbath. Every person around me should have been doing Passover. Guess what? When Tabernacle came, everybody over here should have been dwelling in the tent. But niggas don't care. They just think a good life is, you know what? I was faithful to my girlfriend. I was faithful to my boyfriend. I put food in the house. I'm working. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't do drugs. I don't give drugs to people. People just think that's it. We're in America and all these other places because we didn't follow the law. That's the real reason why Hamashiach died, and we rejected him. We despised him, right? My brother put Mark 3 and 4. Mark 3 and 4, and it reads, and he saith unto them, is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath days, or to do evil, to save life, or to kill? But they held their peace. That's a question that Jake would ask. Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath, or to do evil, to save a life, or to kill? And we already gave the beautiful example on that. You see a freaking goat stuck in a hole, and you're gonna go get that goat. You just gonna walk away and let that goat just sit there? That's brazy to me. That's real brazy. Let alone say if a homeless man hungrier than you. Now I'm hungry. What you want? Can I get a sub? You telling me, oh, it's the Sabbath. You got 6 more hours to go. You nowhere near home. It's good to do. It's good to do good on the Sabbath. So you can go in that damn store and buy him a sub. That's what I would do. Because the Lord is watching that, and you could be entertaining the spirit. Right? Let's go to 1 John chapter 1. Oh, Salaki. 1 John chapter 5, verse 18. And we're going to read this straight in the NLT. Smack us in the face. It says, we know that God's children do not make a practice of sinning. Right? And that means constantly sinning. Practice is when you train. A lot of people practice sinning, let alone you rejecting the Lord. What the hell you think that is? A lot of people reject the Lord. You know, there's a lot of us that don't get in the scriptures. A lot of us do not pray. We just think, hey, God, how you doing? Don't you know we're not even coming in this ministry to figure out the lies? I don't want to be calling the Lord Jesus Christ. I don't want to call him that when I'm praying. I want to call him by his real Hebrew name, Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, right? Jesus Christ's real name in Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. And I want to be facing the east. Every time you face the east, you're facing towards your homeland. I want to pick up this Bible knowing the things that I did not know. That's why sometimes you might read and it might break you down. But if you ain't getting broken down, guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be practicing sinning. The Lord's children do not practice sinning. For God's sons holds them securely, and the evil one cannot touch them. Right? And that goes into John, I believe, 6:44. How can Yahweh Shai hold you? How can he hold you secure if the Lord did not draw you into him? Right? St. John 6:44. No man can come to me except the Father which have sent me draw him, and I will raise him up in the last days. So if you're not drawn to Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, because Hamashiach Yahweh Shai is going to draw you to truth, you're not going to be saved in the last day. You're just going to be running around here like a damn crackhead, and you think you're going to have a good day. The dollar is about to collapse. They're eventually going to do race war, Jacob's trouble. The mark of the beast is going to be here, regardless if you accept it or not. And a lot of brothers and sisters don't care about what's next. I want to get in the kingdom. I want to see my homeland, and I don't want to have to go through another man's loins to do it. I want to make it on this side and change at the twinkling of an eye. Don't you know every son and every daughter is going to be amazed how they get saved? Let me get that real quick. I'm going to get it. And I think we got 4 more precepts, and then we're going to end this. Right? I'm going to go to Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, verse 2. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Everybody, even the 2/3, is going to be strange. They're gonna be amazed by the strangeness of our salvation. It's fine. It's okay. I want that. Please, Lord. What I gotta do? Show me the way. Ezekiel, the 18th chapter, verse 5-9. It says, but if a man be just, righteous, and do that which is lawful and right, and have not eaten upon the mountains, neither lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, neither have defiled his neighbor's wife, basically committing adultery, neither have come near to a mistress woman. Basically, it says with a woman during her menstrual period, and have not oppressed any, but have restored. Guess what? Having sex with your wife on her menstrual period is going off. It's a sin. And a lot of men say, oh man, that period, man, that should get to me. And then some women be so happy. Guess what? You caused your men to sin. Y'all both is in the sinful act. And have not oppressed any, but have restored to the debtors his pledge, and have spoiled none by violence, and have given his bread to the hungry, and have covered the naked with a garment, and that have not given forth upon usury, neither have taken any increase, that have withdrawn his hand from iniquity, have exalted true judgment between man and man, and have walked in my statutes, and have kept my judgment to deal truly. He is just, he shall surely live, saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai God. So you have to walk in the Lord's decrees, his laws, statutes, and commandments, NLT, and faithfully obeys my decrees and regulations, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. Anyone who does these things is just, is righteous, and will surely live, says the sovereign Lord, along with faith. Philippians chapter 1, verse 11. It says, being filled with the fruit of righteousness, which are by Yahushua HaMashiach unto the glory and praise of God, right? May you always be filled with the fruit of your salvation, the righteous character produced in your life by Yahushua HaMashiach, for this will bring much glory and praise, right? I just want to see that word. We're going to see that word righteous again. Make sure it's the same thing. And it is the same thing. Same thing. The state, the broad sense state of him who is as he ought to be. Righteousness, the condition acceptable to God, right? Moving in the spirit. The doctrine concerning the way in which man may attain a state approved of God. Move in faith. You move in faith. Hey, if I move in the way that the Lord want me to do, love my brother, forgive him 70 times 7. Let me stay away from pork, lobster, crab, and shrimp, right? Even though we saved by grace, pork is not clean anymore. I mean, pork was never clean, but just because we saved by grace do not mean, yay, I can eat pork, we're good now. No, nigga, it's still the same. But it's all about faith. It's all about doing the works of Yahweh Shemashai and not boasting. Strive to the truth until death. If you niggas is not striving, there's no need to even keep saying law, law, law. A lot of you niggas is saying law, law, law. You smoking weed, or you prideful, or you hate your brother. Slow down. Let's teach on faith. Let's teach on righteousness. Because the elder was so right when he said, you niggas want to keep teaching about multiple wives, the Leviathan, and superpowers. Nothing wrong with it, but you niggas is not thinking about righteousness. I'm just saying. A lot of you brothers, it is some brothers that's thinking about these things and they're not thinking about righteousness, right? Because guess what? We could be thinking about all of those things, and guess what? We might not even make it. Proverbs chapter, no, it's not chapter 5, it's chapter 2. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 5 is really 5 to 20, but I'm not going to read all of them. I'm going to say it again. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 5 to 20. I'm going to only read a few of them. It says, then shalt thou understand the fear of Yahweh and find knowledge of God. For Yahweh giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Which, when you look at 2 Esdras 8 and 4, we have to swallow down the understanding of the Lord and devour his wisdom. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. Only for the righteous he laid sound wisdom. He is a buckler, a shield to them that walk uprightly, who walks in the integrity. He keeps the path of judgment and preserve the way of his saints, which is the hopeful elect. Those who are faithful to him, only the saints, the hopeful elect, whoever you may be, are faithful to the Lord. Then shalt thou understand righteousness. You're going to understand what's right, what's just, which is judgment, quality, every good path. When wisdom entereth into thy heart and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, right? And we can keep on going. But you have to know this right here it hits you, because a lot of us is not dwelling in the Lord. I know a lot of, this brother always going live. He's always, he don't balance it out. Yes, I do balance it. I go to the bathroom, don't I? Sometimes I might play 2K for an hour, maybe more than an hour. I eat candy. Shoot, sometimes I'm watching the NBA highlights. I don't watch it on TV, but I might watch the highlights. But me personally, I don't care about traveling. I mean, if we do, it happens. But I'm not thinking about this all day, every day. Even if they got something planned, I'm gonna probably stay home. And I don't. Nobody should be getting mad because I'm gonna put the Lord first. And half of the time, I don't want to be attached to anything in the world. Guess what? I can laugh and giggle and have fun in my house or in my backyard or in the park. Everybody else can have all of that. I did all of that. I probably didn't do it with everybody that's around me, but I already did it. That's why in the one scriptures, I want to avoid anything that remind me of what I was doing back then. D Lake, man, I was going up there to bag women. I was looking cut, putting baby oil in my body, literally putting baby oil from my neck all the way down and just flexing. Oh, you look good. Yeah, thank you. You know what I'm saying? And I was slim. I looked like a damn ant. My chest was caved in. I had muscles. I was just cut like Bruce Lee. So if I go back to D Lake, it's going to hit me back. It's going to be different. But to be honest, I don't care. I don't care about none of that, man. This is the best thing I ever put my damn 10 crusty Hebrew feet in. Right? This is the best thing I ever touched in my life. This is James chapter 1, verse 4. It says, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So let it grow. And when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. That's what I want. I want to come in this thing needing nothing. That's why the brothers I labor with, for me right now, because I don't have nobody else, is the best I need. I don't need nothing, let alone the people in my life. I haven't seen nothing better. Hey, if it comes, all praise to Yahweh Shemal Shai, because anybody in this ministry, guess what? I don't need nothing. I have everything I need. You know what I'm saying? I literally have everything I need. I don't really want for anything else. And that's just talking about, I need a peace of mind. Let me smoke a blunt. Oh, you know what? Let me have one of these frisky days. And you know what? Let me see if I still got it like the old me. You know what I'm saying? No, man, man. A lot of things is played out, man. Right? It's all about endurance. You got to wield your righteousness like a sword. That's Ephesians, the 6th chapter, verse 17. But Lord willing, this was edifying. Lord willing, it was edifying because it definitely was to me. I'm going to say it again. Righteousness is more important than riches. Nothing can compare. Your husband, your wife, nobody on this earth can compare to righteousness. And the only thing you can do is keep going up. And the people next to you and around you should be, wherever you going, they should be trying to go up. Anybody pulling you down, anybody comfortable right where they at, I'm sorry. Keep that away from me. Keep that. You know, when your kids was running around, ooh, cooties. Guess what? That's spiritual cooties for me. Keep that away from me. That's how I feel. If you don't like it, hey, I'm not here to make you accept it. I'm just saying, me, man. It's like my brother Yamayan always say, like what he been telling me lately, man, pray is not you that the Lord take out this truth. Pray is not you that the Lord just make up your mind. You feel like you don't got the vibe or the spirit or the energy to teach. What? Oh no, keep that away from me. Right. And it is sometimes where I might say I might take a break from teaching, or I think I need to do better. I need to take a break. Hell yeah, I say that. Because that's me. I might feel like I could do better. Of course, I'm seeing other brothers bring out scriptures way better and break it down. I feel like I can do better because I'm seeing other brothers do better. And guess what? It helps me not be prideful, because some of us be thinking we got it all, which I'm going to just bring this scripture on my screen. Galatians 6:3. It says, for if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. So a lot of us can't be saying, oh, I feel good. Let me go ahead and take a 60-day vacation and go out of town. Hey, that's cool. You go do that. But when you go out of town, make sure you bring your Bible with you when you study it, because none of us should really be thinking we anything. Because for me to go out of town and I don't even know the sincere milk, I ain't gonna lie, to me, after having a conversation with my brother Asher and Sam, I think that would be a problem. Me talking about all the fun I got and I don't even understand what the mark of the beast is. I don't even understand if God love everybody. I don't understand the basics or the knowledge or the sense of milk. I don't even know what precept is. Man, what that brother said in that video, do the Lord's work before you play, before you have fun. And sometimes it takes a minute before you be like, you know what? I want to go do something spontaneous. Hey, it happens to the best of us. Till next time, Israel, if I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, I damn sure can do it. And I'm going to show you again, this was all inspired by the elder in Great Millstone in South Carolina, regardless if you accept it or not. The video was titled Leviathan, Spiritual Power and Multiple Wives is Not Important Than Righteousness. If I can find a good spot where he was speaking, I am going to play it. It's more like a commentary, but if you see on the screen, brothers was out here bringing out precepts for the elder. My screen going a little slow right now.
How are we not desired? Because all nations hate us.
Because all
and it's a natural hatred and enmity between us and the other nations. Our disobedience, man. But the Most High made that natural enmity anyway.
Between nations.
Esau.
Esau.
Is your natural born enemy. He was never meant to. He was never get along with him. He was meant to get along with Ham. And all the rest of these nations. They're basically
created.
That's just crazy.
Be your servants. Your subjects. They were created to be under you, man. So now that they got a foothold on top of you, they look at you with disdain. You understand that? Most Jays don't even get that. You still trying to get along with all the nations. Fuck you trying to get along with them for?
How you gonna try to get
along with the people that walk around?
Listen to this.
You don't get along with the people that
walk around behind their pets. They take their dog for a walk.
They walk around behind their pets.
And you pick up their
droppings.
You pick up their poop off the ground.
You walk behind your dog.
You just smiling.
You just
dog
smiling.
Drop the turd.
The dog
You
drop the turd.
You gotta stop that bag. Get the bag out.
Pick the turd up.
The dog is making fun of your ass. Watch this. Watch this. Drop the turd.
Drop the turd in the ground. She gonna pick this shit up.
They walk behind no pet.
They walk behind no pet and pick up no damn poop.
The people that walk behind them
animals, you a fool, man.
But that's what this world got to offer you. Make you something like that. That don't mean if a brother got an animal, you walk the dog.
Okay.
As a precept over here, 1 Corinthians 2:9, he says, but as it is written, the brother God, Israel Benjamin 144, 1 Corinthians 2:9, but as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. You're going to be kicked out of the wedding for not wearing the proper attire. And that goes into Matthew chapter 22, right? A lot of us have to have on a proper garment, man, or you're going to be thrown in outer darkness. And this is why
they just gonna keep on. They're gonna never.
This is why righteousness is so important, right? Verse 9, but God have revealed them unto us by his spirit, for the spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things, right?
Word, right? Humble ourselves, and then your house shall come back.
And then your house shall come back. He's gonna crush these devils, man.
He's going to crush these people. And all their power and all their military ain't gonna be able to stand against the armies of heaven. No way.
No way.
No way, no how.
No way, no how.
Anyway. So let's open this back up. So back is.
Let me see if I can go back to the beginning. I just want to hear him say it again, and then we just close it out. If you feel inspired, you watch it for yourself. I ain't gonna lie, it hit me. You know what I'm saying? Even if I understand it, it hit me and understand, man. Me and my brothers, we talk about superpowers, the
keep coming up.
All the stuff in the kingdom.
These questions, right? Look at the view up here. Awesome. Beautiful view, right? Awesome view, right? On top of the hill. On top of the hill. Woo. Nice, man. Nice, man. Just a beautiful day. We can get off work, and come and try to do a lesson. Beautiful park. So I'm gonna get down and we're gonna walk. All right. So anyway. So a couple of the elder brothers and myself, and a few other brothers have been having, these discourses where we talk about different things. And one thing that all brothers are receiving is a lot of these questions. We're noticing that Isaiah 4:1, these things, Leviathan, multiple wives, 7 women should take hold of one man, right? Spiritual power, among other things, are becoming stumbling blocks to you, Jacob. Those things are not more important than righteousness, okay? These things are not more important than righteousness, especially right now. What our mind should be on is being righteous, trying to be righteous, trying to walk after the ways of the Lord. Y'all forgive me, I'm going to go down this hill. Right? Because a bug out will pop up every now and again. Here it is. Maybe last week. On the live stream with Elder Apostle Ramlov. And a Jake popped on the comment board. We don't recognize. And you know what? I can remember the guy's name. The guy's name was Legendary Proof. Right? Something heavy going on in the spirit. This guy pops out of nowhere. Are we going to receive spiritual power before Christ come or after? And things like that. A guy like that, you already know. He ain't on no level. Plus, the Savior's name is not Christ. I already knew. When he asked the question, the way that he said it, that he wasn't on no type of level. Because the Savior's name is not Christ. First off, okay? That's not the Savior's name. It's not no damn Christ. I told you guys that, but whatever. You ain't learned shit the whole time. I don't know how long the gap been in the truth. But the overall point of this lesson is to convey, and you're going to get more lessons like this from different brothers who said they're going to address things. One of my pets, I hate when Jay comes and asks about spiritual power. Like, that's all. The only thing the scriptures talk about is just spiritual power. Right? And then Jay can ask you questions like, when Leviathan going to come out? We don't know that shit. We don't know who we going to get spiritual power exactly. The scriptures do indicate Isaiah 59, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, right? Then the Lord's going to lift up a standard against him, but it does not say emphatically that once Esau come and grab you, then you're going to receive spiritual power. Now, we know that once the Lord comes, we all going to have spiritual power. We know that. But we can't tell you when that is. We don't know when the Lord coming. How can we tell you? We know when spiritual power is coming. How can we tell you when Leviathan is coming? How can we tell you that? Leviathan going to come out like I always make the joke. On the 7th at 7. It don't say that. How the hell can we tell you that? But these things are not more important than seeking the righteousness of the Lord. Right? Yeah, people out here doing cookouts. Enjoying. Look. I think they firing up over there. They firing something up. And you got people with the mask. It's gone. So right, brother. And the brother Saints of Jersey, you feel what I'm saying? Jake need to worry about his salvation in
just like what he just said. Hold on, I'm trying to pause it. Just like what he said, man, ain't nothing more important than righteousness. Lord willing, you got the just of that, and you can hold on to it. If you getting butthurt that a brother is saying multiple wise spiritual powers, the Leviathan, all that other extra good things, it's not over righteousness, because that's what we're trying to work hard for, right? To be truthful, right? In righteous acts, that justification, in the state of him who is as he ought to be in righteousness, the condition acceptable to Yahweh concerning the way in which man may attain a state approved of God, goodness, virtue, uprightness, and integrity, because you have to try to win the approval of the Lord. And just being a good person is not going to win the approval of the Lord. And I put that on grandmama's cornbread, right? All right. So I'm not here to pressure none of y'all. Lord willing, you increase. Lord willing, you endure. Till next time, call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. Yahweh being the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai to the world, and He calls Jesus to Christ. If I could do it, you could do it. If you could do it, I damn sure can do it. I am not better than you. I don't think I'm better than you, and I know nobody is better than me. But the God that we are supposed to serve is better than anything that you want to do or think you are doing. Till next time, Lord willing, it can be more edifying. Till next time, Shalom, Kwam Yisrael.